Guys, this is Celine Moon Goddess Tarot, coming back with another pick a card reading. I wanted to do a reading all about your person's fantasies. So, your person's late night thoughts, fantasies that they might have about being intimate, their intimate thoughts and feelings, perhaps some even thoughts of it could be even thoughts that are not necessarily sexual, but they're late night thoughts of you. I have a few deck of cards here that I'll be trying to integrate here. Thank you for watching, by the way. Thank you for all my viewers that hang around. I know that I don't get to post as often as I want, but please, if you have any requests, leave them in the comments to give me some ideas about what to do for some readings. Uh, so um, what we have right here is, well, actually, before I start that, I will mention that I am doing personal readings. Go ahead and email me and I'll put my email below in the description box with any kind of questions, and I can email you back and discuss the more details about the private readings. Um, Also, I will never solicit readings. I will never, try to contact you in your DM you and say, hey, do you want a tarot reading? Let me do one for you and want your bank information or anything like that. I know that there are a bunch of scammers right now on YouTube and also Instagram, actually. So it will always be a one-way street where you contact me if you would like a reading. Okay? All right. Yeah, there's some weirdos out there doing that. All right, so let's get started. This should be hopefully pretty spicy reading, I think. So I'm going to let you know here. Oh, and I'm going to put the pile timestamps below. We have pile one, pile two, pile three. So go ahead and pause this video right where it's at and think about whether you want pile one, pile two, or pile three. And that will be your pile. And I will, like I said, timestamp below have one for each pile. Okay, so we're going to get started with pile one. All right, pile one. I got this card from the Modern Love Tarot, and it's going to kind of be the overarching theme for this reading. So the card that you got was the Seven of Swords. Okay. So this card typically means, when we think of swords, it's about being intelligent, having ideas, taking in information. It has the essence of intelligence and things like that. When we come to the Seven of Swords, this woman here obviously is sneaking out of a bedroom, doing some shady stuff behind the scenes. So I am thinking that your person's fantasy might be sneaking around. Could be that there's a third party situation and a reason why you need to sneak around. Now, a third party doesn't have to be a person. It could be like, let's say you both work together and it's not allowed for you both to date because you work at the same place. Or uh, maybe there's an age difference. Maybe there's some kind of social construct that would make this a bit taboo or looked down upon, whatever this connection is and where you guys are socially. Um, so that could be kind of like the major theme there. So I'm going to use for the tarot part, tarot of sexual magic. Hopefully, nothing is too explicit for YouTube, but we'll see. I'm not monetized or anything, so I mean, no love, no loss there. I know that there's some readers that are monetized and they are, YouTube will not pay you for they'll like not monetize you if it is spicy content. But, I try to keep things, as, you know, matter of fact as they can be. And, you know, I'm not, uh, I'm not trying to be raunchy or anything either, like there's a way to do things that's not all ghetto, right? All right, I'm just fixing the cards because some of them are upside down. I don't read reversals, so if they do come out reversed, I don't. I usually will flip them around upright. I feel like with tarot, there is plenty in the cards to indicate negativity or any kind of like, reversed idea of whatever the card means. Okay, so let's see. What is pile one's person's fantasies and secret thoughts? Oh, this came out right away. You got you got the stars. Okay. Pile one's person's secret fantasies, please. Spirit, pile one's secret. There we go. Okay. More cards, please, for pile. One fell out earlier. One more card for pile one's person. All right, they're popping right out. Okay, so pile one, let's see. We have the star, we have the Knight of Cups, ooh, and we have the Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, and the Empress. Ooh. Hmm. There's a lot of female soft energy here. Uh, you might be younger than your person. And by the way, I'm going to reference feminine and masculine energy because, gender doesn't really apply in tarot. So take it as it fits for you if you're a masculine, watching this or a feminine. Okay. So if you are a feminine, it seems like this person is definitely enchanted with your chest, enchanted with your skin, enchanted with the shape of your body. I think they might spend nights alone daydreaming about that. They might pleasure themselves at night thinking about you. Um, you might be a fair-skinned person, maybe with red hair or blonde hair. Um, or you could be a brown color, a brown shade, and also brunette hair as well. Um, your person, does daydream and also, I think, watches you. I don't know if you guys might work together, but if they do get a chance to take a view of you, they do take a look at you and kind of daydream at you. The Knight of Cups is a very young energy, is like an exciting kind of spring love energy, if you can, picture that. You have the Knight of Cups here, and this girl is in the, taking her bath in the spring water, and he's just standing there, like watching her. Um, he's not having much shame about that. Like it might be something where you know that they're watching you, and you like that they're watching you, and that might be some kind of like little tease that you guys having being in an area where you can't be yourselves, where that they're looking at you, you can feel it, and you might, maybe walk with more of a switch, if you know what I'm saying, or, kind of like show off a little bit because they're watching. Um, I think that they daydream or they fantasize about your nature being very demure and very, you know, um, for lack of a better word, innocent, right? You're playing the one that's not had that much experience. And they are very much the one that is going to be the teacher in the situation. Um, they also fantasize about you being the focus of whatever love session you guys are having. So like if you guys have a date, you guys end up becoming intimate, they want to be the one servicing you. They want to be the one making your body feel amazing first. They want to sit back and just like adore you, telling you words of praise, telling you how beautiful you are, telling you how, sensual you are, and how every part of you is perfect. Food might be something that you guys or that they kind of fantasize about. I get that from, I don't know, I got cut off, so I'll have to like splice this video together. Anyway, I was going to say that the uh, high priestess speaks about, love in a very dimensional way. Not love, I'm sorry. That's for somebody, I guess, but a dimensional type of connection where it goes behind the veil. You go to the high priestess to get the information that's behind the veil. And I think that there is an intimate spiritual connection that you guys have, and it transcends those social norms. Having sex in church is a very, has a stigma around it, right? Like you don't do that, right? But they're clearly doing it, and they're doing it well. They don't really care about that, and I think that's important to note. And it makes me think again of the making love outside with the temperance, making long love outside, and also having some mystery. The spontaneity of having sex in different places is something that really does flip your person's switch in a big way. So I wanted to get some secret thoughts about what your person is thinking. Um, let's get some hidden thoughts, hidden truths, oracle, and see what they want in this connection, how they feel about you, maybe things that they haven't told you um, about how they're looking at this. Okay, and then we'll end this reading with that. Okay. So what are pile one's person's hidden thoughts, hidden truths about this connection? Pile one's person, sorry, I keep doing that. Pile one's person's hidden thoughts about this connection. Pile one's hidden thoughts, sorry about that, hidden thoughts about this connection. Pile one's hidden thoughts, please. Okay. We need to let each other go, but I love you. We need to let each other go, but I love you. So that's interesting. I think that when I think of we need to let each other go, gosh, I wish I could put this here so you could see it. I'll put it up there. It's kind of sliding down. Um, when we need to let each other go could be, the idea of how this is a hidden connection, that this isn't something that is maybe approved of socially, or we can't do this kind of thing. Like this is terrible, but I love you. Don't 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 misunderstand or don't absorb the fact that we have to be secretive. Don't let that indicate or measure my love for you. They still love you. Let's get some more thoughts for pile one's person, please. Thoughts for pile one's person. Sorry if my shuffling is loud. Thoughts for pile one's person. We will be together again. So again, kind of confirming the long distance or separation that's happening here with you guys. Let's get another couple more thoughts for your person. Pile one's person's secret thoughts. I want to tell you how I feel. You and I were too young. So there could be a history here with you guys that maybe you guys do have known each other for a long time. Maybe there could be a time where maybe one or the other person tried to give a hint or some type of maybe, message to the other person that, hey, I'm into you, and maybe you were shut down by your person. Um, you and I were too young talks a lot about like when it says we need to let each other go, about like social norms, right? You and I were too young. Who says what's too young, right? Like it speaks to that. So there must be kind of some social construct that's keeping you guys separate. And it says, I love you before you could leave me. I left you before you could leave me. So maybe that there is just some, you guys are in separation and you guys definitely are, there are some deeper factors going on here. Obviously, besides the sexual tension is definitely there. Let's get advice from Spirit about this connection, and then we'll let you go. Pile one. Pile one's persons. Pile one's persons. Or no, advice for pile one, please, Spirit. Advice for pile one on this connection. Okay, it says very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Okay, let's see what else. Couple more thoughts for pile one's person. Advice about pile one. Poor pilot. Jumped out. healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So yeah, there is some unhealed trauma, unhealed stuff happening here. That maybe the thing that's keeping you away is that they are married, or let's say they are a part of a very rigid religion. Like, I won't point any out, but there are a lot of religions that have lots of strict rules about dating, and your connection falls outside of those restrictions, and that could be why, you know, you know, that could be the one barrier holding you guys back from having this happiness. So let's get one more here. It says, pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Okay, so I think what that when I read that, I think what it means is that in order for this connection to really blossom and you guys really be able to walk in the light of day, is that there are some stuff that needs to get fixed first. There are some relationship stuff, some social norm stuff. There are you have this love and connection and sexual tension with this person, but there are external 3D barriers that are holding you guys back from having this love. So, pay attention to the red flags. I think it's asking you to look at those things. And healing family issues is asking you and your person, you guys are going to have to take time to look at what those things are and try to heal yourselves first so that you can come to the conclusion that is the best solution for everyone involved, for the greatest good of all involved and for the happiness of everyone that's involved, if it has to do with a third party situation or something like that. Okay. So it's very interesting. Kind of took a turn. It's funny. It's interesting to me how, when we do these readings about sexuality, how they can contrast to the real emotions and feelings of the person in question, right? Like all of those hot, sexy, not to put a damper on the hot sexiness because it was hot for sure, but how it can just put a different light on what the actual 3D situation is, and makes it a much more serious love reading than anything else. So, pile one, that is your reading. I really wish you the best in your connection, and I really hope that you guys can work through your things and maybe get a chance to experience that love making that we talk about. Okay. All right. Thank you, pile one. You take care. Again, if you want a private reading, my email's in the description below, and I will see you next time. Bye. All right. Pile two. This is your reading. This is your card for the overarching theme, which is the Two of Cups, which is a beautiful energy to have for a love reading. Well, this is what, a sex reading, right? So we're going to start with, I got a chance to use a few different decks for pile one. So we're going to do the same with you, pile two. We're going to explore the fantasies of your person, explore their thoughts. At the end, we'll do their thoughts and also some advice from spirit. Okay. So let's check it out. Let's see, what is pile two's person's sexual fantasies? Pile two's person's sexual fantasies. Okay. Oop. Oh Lord. All right. These three popped out. I'm at a friend's house doing readings, so I have like not my normal setup here. Okay. Get those three. And let's do one more card. Pile two's person's sexual fantasies. Sorry if my shuffling is loud. There we go. Okay. We have, wow. All right. We have the Emperor. Oh, look, we got the Two of Cups again. Twice. That's the Two of Cups, and this is the Two of Cups. And we have the Six of Swords and the King of Pentacles. All right. So just a little explain here that, when I talk about feminine and masculine, I'll kind of go towards what I'm feeling, like whether you're a masculine listening or a female listening. But take it as it resonates, however, apply it to you. This is a collective reading. So there can be a bunch of scenarios here. So the overarching energy is the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups really is about partnership. It's about, puzzle pieces that come together, equals that come together to make one. Um, Reciprocity. Oh, I'm not saying that. Reciprocity. I'm not saying that right, but reciprocal love, right? You give, I give, you take, we take. It's even. There isn't any unbalanced energy there. Each complement, each one person has their own, gifts and talents, and the other person has their own. But when they come together, it's like a power couple situation. Um, Now, as far as fantasies, we got the Emperor here. So right off the bat, your person definitely um, self pleasures often at the thought of you. Um, or you might be the masculine and no, no, I feel like it's a feminine. So I feel like we're talking about you're the feminine energy and your person is a masculine energy. I feel when I look at this card, it clearly talks about self-pleasuring. I mean, the wand right there speaks for itself. But I think that there is definitely an energy of um, not just self-pleasuring, but I think afterwards there might be some melancholy after. I think that there might be some, deeper feelings underneath these sexual thoughts and fantasies here, especially when we're talking about the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups, like I said, is that beautiful, positive partnership. Uh, and I think your person does fantasize a lot about you very often when they're alone. Um, Definitely they do have thoughts that are almost intrusive. It's almost like they don't have control over how these thoughts come in and when they come in because he just seems tired. Like he's playing too much. I don't know, maybe he's playing too much or he is like feeling really melancholy, like this is fine and all, but it's not like having my person. You have the Two of Cups. Now, this card is the Two of Cups, just like the other card, but definitely a sensual Two of Cups. So you've got these people here. They're out in the middle of some field with hay, and there's some strawberries and chocolates there that haven't been touched. They are completely consumed with each other. Um, you or your person or both of you can have brunette hair. You can both be of a darker complexion. Uh, the female energy could be curvy, big breasted. They do appreciate your chest for sure. They love it. They love the missionary style. That is their preferred position of being on top. I think the Two of Cups here I love because we were talking about again that partnership. It makes me think of that like missionary lovemaking that is so slow and sensual. Um, one person feeding off the other person in a very synchronistic, kind of almost ballet dance type of way. Hold on, let me get a drink of water. Okay. Um, yes. So in a very kind of not just in you're with the Two of Cups here, in a very balanced, synchronistic way, and very in tuned with the spirit of the other person. If you haven't made love that way, I encourage you to try to have that be a goal because it is profound and powerful. Um, it's a great position. People talk smack about missionary being boring and all these acrobatic, positions are better. And really, it's not. Those positions are fun to do for fun. I mean, for true pleasure, I personally feel like intimacy is very important. Um, all right, and then we have the Six of Swords. Now, the Six of Swords typically is a man in a boat rowing away this little family. And it talks about, getting rid of, forgetting, not forgetting, going to better shores, having been through a lot of stress, a lot of worry, but now you're in a boat and you're on your way to a better future. And I think one of the things that they fantasize about that is, just completely immersing themselves in that time. They want to forget everything that's going on in life, the worries, the stresses, all of that. They want to just completely, they fantasize about being completely indulged into you, indulged in your body, your scent, the energy that you bring. Just all they desire to do is just focus on you and bring you all of the pleasure that they could possibly can. And again, I'm getting the energy that this is outside. This could be also signifying with all of the plants and trees that this, again, that this is a newer connection, that it's something that they desire for it to grow and to flourish, and that it's not just this, wham bam, thank you, ma'am type of lovemaking, but that this is a connection that is they see it having a future, that it's planted on firm ground and it's going to be fertile. They might want to also impregnate you. I don't know if that's in your plan for your life. If it isn't, you definitely protect yourself, um, for sure. Uh, I forgot to mention too with the King of Wands here. I'm sorry, the Emperor. Your person might be very well endowed, and if it's vice versa and you're male, um, seeking this reading out for a female that you're interested in or a female energy, they are also very maybe voluptuous or carry intense, pungent sexual energy. Like they exude it. And it's something that is just completely hard to resist. Um, that can definitely be the possibility here. And then this last card is the King of Pentacles, and the Pentacles does talk about grounded 3D energy, firmly planted for, your future, right? Like good jobs and abundance and income. And somebody who's the King of Pentacles is somebody who's trustworthy, who won't do you wrong, who will give you that reciprocal energy. However, they take their time in doing it. They're not somebody that is impulsive, like maybe the King of Wands. There's somebody that needs to think about things and plan things and make sure that everything's perfect before they pursue you. And that could be frustrating for whoever is waiting for this person. But it's because it comes out of a good place. It comes out of a place of wanting to have everything right. And I mean, we all know that everything can't be perfect, but they will do their best to make sure that it is. They do fantasize about catching you off guard. Like maybe you're, for example, at a community, pool, and they walk into to take a shower after the pool, and they find you there, right? And you're half naked because you're rinsing off, kind of thing. It sounds like a kind of immature fantasy to have. Not to, no nothing on your person, right? I mean, fantasies are what they are. They're fantasies, but they do fantasize about like catching you off guard, and you being compromised somehow with not being dressed or not expecting them to be there. I mean, the whole pool idea seems a little silly, but it is what it is, right? It's a fantasy. It doesn't need to be something that happens in reality. um, there is a white dove here flying out in the sky. So again, back to this thought of them wanting to take care of you, and seeing you as a very delicate person, someone who is in need. They want to be a hero to you, um, in a sexual way also. Like maybe they feel like you've not been pleased the way you deserve to be pleased, right? Maybe they feel that they can come in and really show you exactly what you deserve in the bedroom. So I got this funny deck that we can use here. It's called Sexual Fortunes, and it's got some sexual positions that we can also look at for your person. I haven't gotten any kind of idea. I feel like this is something that this is a connection that possibly has taken place, but maybe this is like, when I was talking about um, the garden here and the growth, that maybe this is a newer connection, one that is like in the baby stages, right? The passionate love, puppy love stage here. So let's get some sexual positions for pile two's person. What positions do they have in mind for pile two, please? What positions do they have in mind for pile two? What positions? Let's see, whoa, we got the devil, This one fell out. The Ace of Clits. Oh, and two more. All right. And we got the 10 of Sex Wands and 4 of Testicles. This is so funny. I love this deck. Okay. So the Devil right away definitely, I think it matches this Emperor kind of energy of just, you know, first of all, being completely immersed in the idea of having sex with you. They they can tend to run away with their imagination and want to be very dominant. Maybe oral sex is something that is a turn on for them that they daydream that you would do for them, um, or not. It could be there's definitely some BDSM here. He's got like a chain, he's got her on a leash. So I think dominance is something that he definitely thinks about. But I think that this is like, I know that we can all say that we fantasize, right? We're all adults here. We all should be adults here, by the way. Is that when you have a fantasy and you're going through it in your mind, there is always an escalation, right, to the point of ecstasy. And I think that this kind of energy is towards the end, right? It's like towards the pinnacle of right before they finish. And so I don't think that that's that initial day-to-day kind of like sensuality and excitement that they feel for you. It's one of those extreme kind of moments at the pinnacle of right before they climax. I think that's where that comes from. The Ace of Clits, which I think represents cups here, because we've got a fountain. Again, there is that dominant energy, right? He's pulling her hair back, and she has like a ball gag in her mouth. But she is writing him, right? It's reverse cowgirl. So I think there is that kind of dynamic where she's participating, she's not being forced, but I think that you might like getting your hair pulled. I'm not sure. Pile two. But that is the second time that kind of the being forced to do something um, is something that is something that's exciting to him and might be something exciting to you. Maybe that's something you guys have talked about, but the energy for both of these cards is that it's willing participation. It's not them, forcing you and you screaming and saying no, right? Like you're all in it. You are writing that like a cowboy in the desert. You're there. You're all about it. And they know it and they know that you like it. Like in both of these pictures, he's smiling. There he's smiling and here he's smiling, and so it's not an unpleasant, angry dominance. It is because some people like that too, right? It's not. It's a more, I would say, soft BDSM. All right, so then we have the 10 of sex wands. So this is wands. So he's got a little vibrator there that he's using on her. And I think your person would love to have sex toys in the bedroom. That's not something they're intimidated by. That's not something that they have an issue with. I mean, surprisingly, I have met uh, masculines that have an issue with sex toys. They like don't want them. They feel intimidated by them, or they feel like it's you know some type of measurement of their inadequacy or something. I think that's ridiculous, but anyway, she seems to be having the time of her life there. He's supporting her so that she can have pleasure. So, it's not one-sided. I think it's interesting how we talked about balance before with the Two of Cups and both up here. And again, I think we're having some balance. We have the BDSM here, and we have here, turning the tables where she's being pleasured. And I think fundamentally that is what your person also fantasizes about, is giving that pleasure. Um, and the Ten of Wands as a tarot card is about finishing the war, being a soldier that's done with the battle. And I feel like they're willing to sustain themselves as long as possible in order to make sure that you come and that you are also pleased. And they don't care how long it takes. They are very passionate to help you get there. And then finally, we have the Four of Testicles, which the testicles, I think, are pentacles. But anyway, he's outside here. It seems like there's a castle in the background. There might be some medieval fantasizing about that period of time. But again, he's pleasing her. She doesn't seem comfortable like on a rock, but that might be, your shtick, that might be your thing. But again, he's there to please her. That's a position that's probably pretty pleasurable for a woman to be propped up properly so all the spots get hit, if you know what I mean. So yeah, and so I think that there's that good balance. You have the BDSM, the soft BDSM, and then you have like the focus of wanting to pleasure you as well, that it is not one-sided. Um, okay, so let's do some hidden thoughts from the Hidden Truth Oracle about this connection, and let's get some truth about really what it's all about. Like these are the inside thoughts and fantasies, but let's see what the real situation is here and what your person, what those hidden thoughts and feelings are about you. So pile two's person's hidden thoughts and feelings. Pile two's hidden thoughts and feelings. Okay, I'll put this here. I'm becoming a better person. Pile two's person's hidden thoughts. My life is not as together as it seems. Okay. Whoa, whole bunch came out here. These came out right side face up, so I'm going to take those. All right. So we have, I wish things could be different. These are all sliding down. I'm sorry, they're slippery. And it was my fault, but I blamed you. Wow, okay, so pile one also had kind of like a very different vibe, compared to the vibe of the sexual reading. When we got to the thoughts, it was a different energy altogether. And I don't know if there is somebody here who has a person that they did have a connection with that they felt was very like peanut butter and jelly. We are two puzzle pieces, and this, energy that we have is amazing. And then something came abruptly and changed it, changed the energy. Maybe you guys aren't talking right now. Maybe there was a misunderstanding or something that made, something that hurt your person's feelings, or they hurt you. Um, they might have done some wrong. When I think of I'm becoming a better person, there definitely is an energy of a wrongdoing that some hurt that was took place. Maybe they took you for granted, made you feel like you weren't as valuable as you deserve to be held. My life is not as together as it seems. Makes me feel like you guys didn't know each other that well. Um, Maybe this was a fast burning love, like a match, where you get together and it's hot and heavy and powerful, and then it's out like a light. Like somebody gets scared of the, intimacy, or maybe like that card says, they weren't honest and they have something else going on in their life where it prevents you guys from being together. Maybe they are, maybe financially struggling and not where they made themselves seem to be, or, maybe they have another connection that they're trying to get out of that they didn't tell you about. Um, Something of that nature is what that feels like. I wish things could be different. Definitely speaks to separation and speaks to like wishing and regret that whatever wrong was done or whatever betrayal took place or whatever ended the communication, they regret it. They feel like I think it was their fault. When it says that it was my fault, but I blamed you, they really, in the heat of whatever took place, might have made you feel bad, like you were the one that was the problem. Maybe they made you feel like you were needing too much from them or you were asking too much when really you really weren't. They were just not ready. Um, and so there is a lot of regret. And so this kind of regret and remorseful energy here makes me feel like it matches this emperor energy, right? Like he pleasured himself, but then and that was fast and but futile, right? Because the real core problems that are here weren't fixed by that. So it's kind of bittersweet in order when they do pleasure themselves, because for that moment in the fantasy and ecstasy, they feel amazing because they're thinking about you, and then when they're done, then they wake up from that daydream and see that you're not there. So it's not the most pleasurable, thing there for them. Let's get some advice for you, pile two. Let me get some advice from the Romance Angels deck. I think a lot of people who watch tarot know this deck. It's a popular one. Okay, pile two's person. Oh, advice for pile two, please. Whoa. Oh, here we go. Someone from your past is returning back to your life. Reconciliations on the table. They want to come back. They definitely do regret what they did and they do want to come back. You are lovable. You deserve love. So that makes me feel like that scenario that I mentioned about they made you feel like you weren't important or you weren't not important, that you were being too needy or that you were wanting too much for them. That really speaks to that not being the truth at all. You deserve love. You are worthy of it, and their rejection was your protection in the sense that they needed to work on themselves, and this disconnection that took place was not about you. It was about them. All right, let's get two more cards of advice for pile two. Whoa. All right. Take these two cards here. Here we go. This is, see, I'm telling y'all, I don't know. All right, so time has come to clear your energy, release your ex. There you go. When I was saying over here a little bit that my life is not together as it seems, that there's something there that they need to let go. They definitely, I think, bit off more than they can chew when they started a connection with you, not finishing a connection that they had. Um, and I think it turned out to be just a huge mess in their life that they were hiding from you. And then, so the easiest thing to do is to make it, which is kind of cowardly in my opinion, to make it seem like you were the problem, you know, is pretty crappy if you ask me. But yeah, they made a poor decision there for sure. And then just as a note, pile two, you don't have to say yes to this connection. Like you are worthy of love. You are worthy of something absolutely reciprocal and beautiful. This person does have to work on themselves, and maybe they are trying to get everything together. They want reconciliation. This last card says soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. All right. So this is your soulmate. We get to have a lot of soulmates in this life. I know that there are some different beliefs about soulmates. Some people think you only get one. I think those are people who tend to favor monogamy, kind of feel like they only get one. I think that we have many, and I think that they serve their purpose in being that mirror for us. A lot of times we are a lot alike, you and your soulmate, so much so that it can actually break up the connection. Because if you are a lot alike but you have unhealed areas that uh, create triggers for your person or yourself, there isn't. You guys are going to be like magnets that repel each other. You guys need to change perspective about the issues that you have and become more open so that healing can take place. And the core of that being able to happen is humility and acknowledgement of mistakes, right? Humility that you're not, this relationship is not going to survive if you think you're the only important person, or you're not going to take responsibility for your part, your wrongdoings. It takes two, right? Which I know is a cliche, but makes me think of that song. It takes two. It takes two. Me and you. I'm aging myself right now, but anyway. So pile two, that is your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Um, Let me know if you have any other ideas for readings in the comments. I would love suggestions because, you guys think about some really great stuff. So I would love to be able to honor that and do a reading that is super interesting to you guys. Okay? So pile two, I wish you the best. If you're interested in personal readings, I'll leave my email in the description below. You guys take care and have a good day. All right, pile three. You have the Six of Wands as your overarching energy. Six of Wands talks about triumph, having to suffer through a lot of difficulty. Like you see, this person in the wheelchair decided to just persevere and still play basketball, even though he lost his legs, use of his legs. So that is the overarching energy here. So this could be a connection that has taken, a lot of work. It could have taken a lot of time. Sorry, I'm going to reposition myself here. it could have taken a lot of time to get to a point where you guys could even have a connection. All right. Okay. So we're going to start off with the um, sexual magic tarot here. Okay. So let's get for pile 3 their person's um, sexual fantasies. We're going to do sexual fantasies. We're going to do some sexual positions and some thoughts and advice. Okay. All right. So pile 3's person's fantasies, please. All right. Pile 3's person's fantasies. Pile 3's person's fantasies. Pile 3's person's fantasies. Okay, let's do one more for pile 3, please. There we go. I love that when that happens. Okay. All right, so we have, we have the Ace of Swords. We have the Three of Wands, Ace of Wands, ooh, Ten of Swords. Okay. So, all right. So, interesting. So we have the Ace of Swords here. So there is this scene where this woman is tying up her man. She's definitely the dominatrix kind of situation there, if you can see. There's some scissors and some rope there, a little pin cushion that's the shape of a heart with a pin in it, a dagger. Um, I think that your person fantasizes. Oh, and just as an explanation, when it comes to energies of tarot, it really is about just energy. It's not about gender. So if I say, oh, this is a feminine nature, your person is masculine that's watching this, or you're masculine and this is feminine. Um, it's not about gender. So you could be a woman with masculine energy and vice versa. Okay, so I think that with the Ace of Swords, with the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Wands, I feel like this is a brand new connection, or this connection has suddenly changed to a sexual one, or that's something that they desire. Like they desire the nature of your relationship to change to be one that includes sexuality. And the fantasy of your person is being dominant. Um, and this could be you could be I should say masculine, the masculine pile 3. You could be the masculine and the person watching is a feminine. If that's the case, your feminine definitely wants to exert her power over you. That's something she definitely fantasizes about. You might be a person in a high place of employment, or super educated or super charismatic and dynamic, and have a large friend group, and you're somebody that everybody wants to be with, kind of thing. So in that sense, in the bedroom, she fantasizes about being dominant over you, and you needing her in a sexual way, um, and her taking advantage of you in that way. Um, Grinding might be something that she fantasizes about too, in order to climax. Grinding on you. If you are the feminine pile 3 and this is a masculine that's watching, he definitely does want to have you take over and be in charge. Again, I always find that dynamic interesting. Like the one who's being dominated in their normal life can tend to hold a high place in society, right? Um, I feel the same here in this situation. You have the Three of Wands. Now, the Three of Wands usually is about like being, going on a trip or planning a trip. You've already either planned a trip, or you've planned some type of vacation, or you're putting plans in place for some kind of future uh, with a person, or with your whatever it could be. But it tends to be a passionate project, something that is, could be born of an idea, born of um, you know, uh, like it is traveling with a purpose, I think is because the one before that it would be the Two of Wands, which is being kind of stuck between two roads and trying to decide which way you want to go. And the Three of Wands is after that you've already decided what the plan is and what you're going to do. And you have both of these beautiful people here just kissing and necking in the forest. Necking in the forest. She definitely is all about it, and so is he. Your person could be brunette or have blonde hair, or even a redhead. Um, Someone can have brown skin as well. I think here is talks really about an agreement. There's a fantasy of an agreement to run away, to go elope, to go be by ourselves, not care for anything else, and just leave everything behind. So that's also a fantasy. I think about when I look at this couple of a couple that's made plans to elope, uh, get away without people, no one knowing, and just getting away by themselves to explore each other. And then the Ace of Wands kind of reminds me of that same scenario of running away like on vacation, right? You're on vacation and he should be sleeping, but no, he can't. He can't sleep. He can't stop looking at you. He's completely in love with you, like newlyweds. The other scenario that's coming to me with this card is that there is like a third party situation because in the background in the fire, there's two shadows of two other people. So there could be a situation where you're both in connections with another person, other people, and that is why this idea of like the secrecy of the fantasy of running away is there. And if that is the case, the Six of Wands and being triumphant, I think is getting away from whatever is chaining you and keeping you both away from each other. Um, I don't have judgments about that. I feel like there definitely is a difference between being a cheater and having an epiphany that perhaps you either are not in love and the marriage is going to be over, or, you know, um, really deciding to just be happy, and that includes not being married to that person anymore for some reason. I don't think that anyone wins staying in connections that do more harm than good for everyone involved. And a lot of times that is the case. I don't agree with cheating though. Like someone who's just lies to their spouse to say, no, I want to be with you and only you, but yet their behavior shows different. For me, that's cheating when there's secrets and lies and things like that. Anyway, but I'm not here to preach, right? All right. So the last card we have here is the Ten of Swords. Now this card is much more sadder to me. This is like, she's sitting there by herself fantasizing and having thoughts of the last time you guys were together. So if you see in that window that that's her with another man, and she's by herself, just kind of touching herself, and that candle is in a phallic shape. Uh, but there's disarray around her. There's flowers on the floor, there's a cup that's spilled. So I feel like this is like, you know, a fantasy based around the longing of being apart. Um, if you've ever been in a long distance relationship, like this could be a long distance relationship, and how sometimes the lust after that person can be so intense that you do end up, having time to yourself to pleasure yourself often about that person, but there is still sadness linked to it, discouragement because you don't have that person there. All you have are your thoughts and fantasies, and you don't have that person there physically, which can be very bittersweet, right? Like you have this great orgasm and then you recover and just end up being sad. It's kind of a theme that for all three piles came out. So that's kind of interesting. Okay, so let's have some fun and talk about some sexual positions your person might want. I have this deck called Sex Fortunes, and it's a funny, lighthearted deck, and it has sexual positions on there. So let's see. Pile three's persons, sexual fantasy positions. The pile three's person positions. Pile three person would want to do pile three. All right. First one you got is the Emperor. Well, that Emperor came out, or another Emperor came out in pile three. Pile 2, sorry. All right. Pile 3's person's sexual fantasies. Okay, let's get one more, please, for pile 3. Thank you. Oh, you got an extra bonus. All right. So you got the Emperor, the 8 of Clits, the 5 of Clits, which I think are pentacles, by the way. And you've got the Page of Testicles and the 6 of Sex Wands. All right. So the Emperor right here. So I think that your person fantasizes about being serviced by you, being catered to, having you stay there and, feed them fruit, them drinking the wine, feeling, feeling like if they had you in their life, they would need nothing. They wouldn't need or want anything else, that they are satisfied, um, being cared for and having the attention be put on them by you. Um, you might be more petite. Your person might be bigger than you. That's also something coming to me. The 8 of Clits is the 8 of Cups. Usually it's about walking away from something that no longer serves you. It could speak to the fact, like if there were a third party situation here, again, being in solitude together. They're looking at each other in their eyes, so it seems like it's a very intimate missionary style that they're having. And it's, oh, I take that back. I just looked at this card. It's intimate, don't get me wrong. It's intimate, but she is, if you can see, blindfolded and touching herself. So there is this, I'm trying to get the essence of what this is. It's like, I feel like they would like to allow you to do whatever you want, have whatever fantasy you desire, um, allow you that freedom, not like sex where like, you've got to do this for me and it's about me getting, finishing. But like she's taking her time, she's blindfolded. So he's in, it makes me think of how the person that's not blindfolded would indulge in watching the other person and watching how the other person touches themselves and pleasures themselves and enjoying that, being the spectator, I think is something that your person fantasizes about. But in a missionary position, usually that isn't, you can do it with that position, but it could be the first time for them that they're doing that, and maybe they feel comfortable doing it that way. But they're tangled into each other, so it still feels intimate to me, even though she does have the blindfolds on. And the moonlight is, you know, it signifies mystery and, sometimes illusion. So her fantasizing is something your person, well, I guess you fantasizing about them is something that really turns them on. Um, we have the 5 of Clits here. Uh, so it looks like to me that she's humping him, I think, with the little pink swirly indicating action in the hip area. So I think your person fantasizes about maybe you pleasuring yourself and using them as the device in which you do that. Grinding on them is something that is a fantasy for them. That position is something that they think about. I think, yeah, it's definitely a fantasy. I don't think that they expect you to do that, or they don't know that you would do that. So it's definitely something they hope that they could have you do one day to them. Um, yeah, that's something that definitely they think about when they pleasure themselves. Also, we have the Page of Testicles, so just another nice position. I think it doesn't look very comfortable to me, but to each his own. If you're young, as you get older, these positions turned out to not be so pleasurable, I guess, sometimes. But I think definitely them having you from behind is something that is exciting to them, that they would love to do. And again, with another kind of writing card, the 6 of Sex Wands. So she's doing that reverse cowgirl thing. and enjoying herself, and so is he. So it's placed at a beach, so a beach scene might be something that they really fantasize about too. Um, yeah, so it kind of seems kind of sprinkled evenly. You know, there is that theme of him want to be serviced by you and you appear wanting to be the dominant one as well. But there is a sentiment of distance with this connection. That you guys are at a point in your career. Oh my God. Maybe you guys work together, but you guys are at a point where you can't be together all the time. Um, let's get some hidden thoughts from your person. Hidden thoughts. Let's see what's really going on, because this is a different level in this connection, right? Like when you really talk about the underlining theme, you know, fantasies are fantasies. They don't reflect what's really happening in a connection, you know? So let's say the pile threes person's um, thoughts. You came closer than anyone. Oh, these are going to slide all over the place. Just put them here. You came closer than anyone. I hope that you can forgive me one day. All right. Well, that kind of is talking, speaks to some kind of maybe cause for a separation here, um, some type of forgiveness that needs to be had. Uh, it was my fault, but I blamed you. These two cards, where this card came out in pile two, so you might want to listen, you know, listen to pile two. You came closer to anyone always makes me feel like the person was not vulnerable enough, didn't give you a chance, you know, really had strong feelings for you and maybe let the opportunity pass. And they never told you the impact that you had for them. I wish things could be different. That card came out in pile two as well. You might want to watch pile two. All right, let's do a couple more cards for their pile three's person's thoughts. It's time for me to heal now. So yeah, it definitely speaks to some separation. So, and this kind of, you know, underlining work that needs to be done also comes in line with the Six of Wands, your overarching card. Like they want to have success. They want to have victory here in this connection. Yeah, a couple more thoughts for pile three's person. Thoughts for pile three's person, spirit. I remember every detail of that day. Okay, so that tells me you guys you've had relations before and you've been together before. So something took place that, you know, made this connection take a halt, you know. Maybe that's what is driving the desire for success, because the success has not been attained yet here. And your person seems very remorseful about what they did, really regretful and sad. Uh, like you came closer than anyone. I wish things could be different. Like it's a sad sentiments. Let's get some advice from Spirit. What advice do you have for pile three and this connection? What advice do you have for pile three and this connection, Spirit? Any advice, pile three, about this connection? It is safe for you to love. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world, which I spoke about, right? The the Three of Wands, the eloping idea, being on vacation with the Ace of Wands. And extend your lighthearted energy to others. Flirt. All right, so that's interesting. So maybe this is past energy with all of the negative, not negative, but remorseful ideas and thoughts. You know, maybe you're at the point where some of you are ahead of this, and the work has been done, and now there is opportunity to, you know, pursue the person, and universe is saying just not to be apprehensive about it. It's safe. You don't have to worry about being hurt again. free yourself. It's time to take control of your life. All right, so that's definitely, a big ol' ass green light from universe with this connection. I would tread carefully though, because it seems like you're dealing with someone who is newly healing, and you don't want to find yourself in the situation that got you here in the first place. So one more card here. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Okay, so when it says feelings are real and worth exploring, it makes me think about, uh, taking the time to disconnect and reevaluate and discuss and discover all of those thoughts and feelings with each other, reviewing what took place and why those things happened, why do they feel that way, why did they retreat, why did they pull back their energy from you, and being honest with each other. um, Having sexual tension and all of that is great. It's a beautiful feeling. All the dopamine overload, it's wonderful. But at the end of the day, it is about a relationship. It's about two human beings, and it's important that we acknowledge and hold respect for uh, our partners or loved ones or love interests for their feelings. And despite being hurt by them, just give them a minute to figure it out, right? Let them try to sort it out before you form judgments, and then come together and discuss it. So, all right, pile three, thank you so much for letting me read for you. I am doing personal readings. If you want to email me, my email will be in the description below, and we can discuss all the details about the readings. So, you all take care. All the piles were great, and I will see you next time. Trying to stop. Okay.